This is Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank here on the Voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And our interview segments are presented by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Now, we have been thinking about how coronavirus and COVID-19 have affected our daily lives, and one of those definitely is employment. Now, on yesterday's show, we were able to talk about how people can find work-life balance. Well, what if they're one of those people that right now needs to find a job? How are you able to do so, especially in this time of COVID-19, where the digital workplace has become just about as important as the brick-and-mortar workplace? Joining us right now is a branding and LinkedIn specialist, and she is the author of the ebook Lost on LinkedIn, Bianca Jackson. Bianca, it is a pleasure to have you on our show today.
It's a pleasure of being here. Thank you.
All right, so Bianca, let's talk about, well, obviously, the big elephant in the room, 2020. It definitely has changed workplace culture, but one thing that hasn't been talked about a lot is people trying to get jobs. I mean, we're hearing about unemployment going back down to almost pre-COVID levels, but how hard is it for people to find a job in this COVID-19 era where basically in-person interviews either have to be conducted 6 feet apart from each other or being done virtually?
It's tough. It's tough, but it's not impossible, right? So when you start thinking about jobs, there's actually about 20 million open jobs on LinkedIn, right, for a platform. So there's opportunities to find them. You just got to know where to look.
So what are some of the big things that people need to keep in mind as they use a virtual platform like LinkedIn or another virtual platform to market themselves as a good employee?
Sure. So I think the top things that people need to realize is that the recruiters are actually on LinkedIn looking. They say about 87% of recruiters regularly use LinkedIn, and about 122 million people have received interviews through LinkedIn. And I'm pretty sure other platforms have similar numbers. But just putting yourself out there, having a presence, having a profile, and having accomplishments will definitely get recruiters looking in your direction. So it's not hard. You just got to put some work in.
It's just like building a regular paper resume, I would assume then, right?
Yeah, but a little bit different. So a lot of times what I like to tell people is that you want to focus on your accomplishments, right? What can you do that not many other people can do, right? So what makes you special? What value can you bring? And sometimes people have a really hard time speaking about themselves, but this isn't the time to be shy, right? So you really want to pull out your best work and the things that, make you special and what value you can bring to an organization.
So talk about what are some of the things that people should use, maybe keywords or things, maybe pictures even, that might help them out with their LinkedIn profiles to make them more appealing.
Sure, I have all the tips. So I think the first thing that anyone should do is take a look at the jobs that really interest them, right? So a lot of times what people do is that they'll just go ahead and say, hit quick reply or apply for the job or upload their resume. What you really should do is take the description and find the keywords that appear most frequently in the job posting. And those are the keywords that you want to put in your profile, right? So if they're using them to write the actual job description, they're actually also using them to search. So if you have them in your profile, you're easily found in all the search results, and you actually move up in the rankings. So, doing the research, looking the part, putting your accomplishments in there. And then the other thing that I think is really important is engaging, right? So engaging in the sense of following the companies that you're interested in working for, the ones you want to hire you, and also people who work at those organizations. If you do that, kind of like that trifecta of things, you will start to see your results change drastically.
Whenever I was looking for jobs when I was younger, I noticed a lot of companies going virtual with their job application process. So whenever an employer sees a job application, do they try to search for them on some of these job-based social media sites?
Oh, absolutely. They want to try to get as much information about you as possible, right? So what's really great about LinkedIn is that as you're searching, you click on someone's profile, you can see what mutual connections you have in common. And sometimes you can pick up the phone or even send someone an email like, hey, do you know John or Bill or Jane? And they can give you, background information about this person. So that's why I think it's extremely important to have a presence and to have a presence on a platform like LinkedIn.
We're talking with Bianca Jackson, who is a LinkedIn and branding specialist, and she has also written the book on LinkedIn called Lost on LinkedIn. It's an ebook that can be found on her website, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. But Bianca, let's talk about it from the employer side now. Now that we've talked about the employee being able to brand themselves, the employer should be able to use LinkedIn or any other social media related to business as an easy way to kind of move things forward as far as either setting up an interview or maybe just emailing this person saying, hey, could you send us some more information?
Oh, absolutely. And LinkedIn has done a great job of even putting in some new features. So one new feature is a calendar chatbot. So it helps people to be able to schedule those interviews a whole lot faster than they've been able to do in the past. So LinkedIn is definitely looking out for the employer, definitely looking out for the job seeker. It's just a great tool all around.
So the chatbot that you mentioned, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. So as an employer sends you a message, is a feature in there that they can enable that they can start the process of getting you scheduled for an interview. So you do all your communication through the actual message that you receive. So it's like the email your inbox that you get, essentially.
Okay, so that way everything is taken care of by the chatbot rather than the employer having to sit at the desk and type everything out and just basically sitting there waiting for the next reply to come in, right?
Correct. Correct.
All right. So how successful has LinkedIn been in getting people jobs during this pandemic?
Oh, wow. I mean, it's been great, right? So as you can imagine, a lot of employers are inundated with their job boards, right? You know, you have millions and millions of people who are out of work. They've been able to use something like LinkedIn as a way of screening candidates a whole lot faster, being able to, verify references, being able to verify, jobs, being able to contact other employees of past companies and just kind of doing a reference check. So it's a really great tool to move things a whole lot faster than the normal process of just applying on their job board.
We're just about out of time, Bianca, but we know that you have that great ebook out, Lost on LinkedIn. Where can people find a copy?
Sure. They can go to my website. My name is Bianca J. Jackson / Lost on LinkedIn ebook. So you can find it there.
All right. Bianca, thank you very much for joining us here on Indiana in the Morning. All the best to you for the new year. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.